Okay, take two. I say take two because I attempted this earlier today and I completely lost my shit. I couldn't even get through it, so I scrapped it. You couldn't even understand what I was saying, so I just scrapped it, and I'm trying again now. Welcome back to the Fallout Let's Play. I say this is like part, fuck, I don't even know, like 3, 4, 16. I label a lot of them Let's Plays, but really it's just me dicking around with the mods. But this is actually like the first legitimate playthrough. I've never even made it past Diamond City in these goddamn things, because I always start a new character. That's the folly of mods. You know, sometimes you install a new mod and you gotta start the whole fucking game over. But that's the price we pay, so... This isn't even the first female I made, this is a second one. So, that's why I'm doing this part again for what seems like the third time. Oh well. I'm playing. This is just a backdrop. This is not the topic of the video, but try to get through this with some composure. The topic of this video is what I want this channel to become, what I want this channel to be, what I inevitably want to have happen in time, you know, because... Sorry, I got hiccups. I had some wings earlier, so they're going back on me. If I just randomly pause, that's why. No one's channel blows up overnight, even if they get a nod from a well-known YouTuber like Jacksepticeye. Like, he got a nod from PewDiePie, but his channel didn't blow up after that. I mean, there was initial, like, a burst of growth, but then it kind of died off, and then, you know, he got where he is on his own merit. I'm not saying that he didn't appreciate the help from Felix, but... it's not what got him where he is. He got there on his own. So, you know, no one sees success overnight. And even Sean, Jacksepticeye, you know, he had his channel for ages and ages before he even uploaded it, you know, uploaded on it, and so have I. I made this channel way back in 08, and my first videos were like music videos, cutscenes from video games with songs from bands, you know, like the intro sequence to Lost Odyssey where Kaim is fighting an entire army by himself almost. You know, I had Drowning Pools tear away to that, and the timing between the music and the video was just perfect, and it's just... But then the whole copyright thing, I eventually had to take those videos down, even though I didn't have them monetized. But, you know, I've had this channel since 08, and then those videos were on there, and I took them down, and then I just became a watcher instead of a doer. And then when I got my Xbox One, you know, I started doing snippets here and there, you know, like tips, some interesting glitches or bugs. Very seldom a walkthrough. But now that I've started uploading in earnest, I want this channel to grow, I want it to become something, and I don't want to be a personality, you know? I don't want to be that guy on the internet, you know? I'm a real person, and I'm gonna give you some insight into my life as to why I want this channel to grow, and why I want it to end up where I want it to end up. And, you know, some people look up to YouTubers as, you know, they're special, they're not like everyone else, but I assure you, even the little ones like me, we are just human, and we are susceptible to human things. Case in point, Markiplier, when he did his Draw My Life episode on his channel, you know, he talked about his dad having cancer and how it affected his life. But out of the bad, comes the positive. So now he does charity live streams all the time for various charities. Some of them cancer related, because you feel that connection. You want to give back to some organization that's helping somebody somewhere, so that they don't have to go through what you went through. And when I watched that episode of Draw My Life of Mark's, it stuck with me because, my mom had cancer. And this is right about the time I broke down when I started recording this last time, and I was basically sobbing like a baby, so I just scrapped that audio. I mean, it was bad. You couldn't even understand a fucking word I was saying. But deep breaths, and I'll try to get through this the best I can. I look up to Mark, because he does things like that, the selfless things. Yes, he does this as a job, which is what I want to do, No one wants to go to work and hate their job, They don't want it to be like that movie Office Space where they come into work and they've got that boss like Lumbergh. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to come in on Saturday. Yeah. Or, they go into work and want to
sounds really rough. God damn it.
Thanks.
burn the fucking building down because someone stole their stapler.
Anyway,
You want to enjoy what you do. You want to do things with your life that you're happy about. You want to look forward to going into work or look forward to working in general. And this is not a job for me. This is fun. This is pleasurable, but it can't sustain my life like it can for Mark or Sean or Felix because, I'm new. I don't have the fan base and the subscribers and all this other stuff. So I have to, find a job to maintain this lifestyle so I can keep bringing you guys the things I want to bring you, Like when Overwatch came out, I wanted to play Overwatch and show you guys how I played it, which is why I put up that snippet from the beta. But I can't afford those games because I'm currently unemployed. Full disclosure, I've said it before. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I'm currently unemployed and I'm looking because it's gonna get stale after a while. I just keep bringing you the same shit over and over. And the only new stuff I bring you is because it's either free or I was able to download a trial. That's gonna get stale real quick. So
we know right where to find one.
But we can't get.
I want to be able, I want to be able to do this as a job. I want to be able to look forward to be doing my work. Going to work. And yes, it's playing video games. But
you could give it a shot.
It's what I enjoy. It's the thing I want to do with my life. And if I can make a difference in someone else's, well, then that's just a bonus. And it's not just about money, money is money, but I also want to do things like bring good to people, bring positive, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, positivity into their life because, Mark with his live streams, he does that just purely, because he feels it's the right thing to do. And I want to eventually be able to do that to do a live stream and make money for a charity, and money they wouldn't normally have to help go towards somebody that needs it, so that they don't experience the thing that I experienced or what Mark experienced, or even what Sean experienced, when he talked about his grandma, and she couldn't recognize people. She saw them, but she didn't know who they were. He was talking about visiting his granny in the hospital, and she basically was looking him dead in the face, and she couldn't tell that it was him. She thought he was somebody else. and she was asking where he was.
And even what is right now.
Anything I can do to help somebody not experience that type of thing, you know, it's...
I can see this
I want
is
some
something
good to come out of this, you know?
drawn by the noise and the chaos.
Case in point, my mom, you know, I said she died
And
with cancer.
is
Between my freshman year in high school and my sophomore year that summer. And it's especially harder because, you know, it's... I don't want to call it an anniversary, but, you know, it's basically when it happens, you know.
claws and teeth and
Last month, July,
claws. The
back
very
in 2005.
face of death itself.
July of 2005, she went on vacation. She had worked all week, and she went on vacation. It was Friday, her last day for a week, and then she would go in the following Monday. You know, she had the weekend off, the entire week, that week's weekend, and then she would go back on the Monday. Well, Friday when she came home from work, everything was hunky-dory. She didn't complain about anything. She didn't say she was in pain. She didn't say she felt funny.
Hey.
She got up Saturday morning.
Hey.
She was walking from her room to the bathroom, and she just collapsed. She started having a seizure, and everybody in the house started freaking out. And by everybody in the house, I mean me, my grandmother, my uncle, because we were all living in the same house. And we still do. I still live with my grandmother. I'm 26 years old, and I live with my grandmother. You know, it's sad, I know, but she was having a seizure, so we called the paramedics, and they showed up, and they got her situated. They stabilized her, and then they ended up taking her to the hospital. And the doctors at the hospital ran some tests, and they sent her home because she seemed fine. They thought she was okay, and there was nothing else they could do, you know, besides wait on the tests. Why the hell they sent her home when she had literally just had a seizure earlier that day, I don't know. But anyway, they sent her home, and Saturday and Sunday were fine, you know. Well, not Saturday, but, you know, they sent her home Saturday night. Sunday morning she got up, and again, you know, everything seemed fine. And in retrospect, it was a bad idea, but even at 15, you know, I'll be honest, I was a mama's boy, because, I mean, my dad wasn't in the picture, so my mom was my mom and my dad. But she was my best friend. She got me into the truck. She's like, I'm hungry, so let's go to McDonald's. And so we went to McDonald's, and we got a couple cheeseburgers, and we went back home. Again, in retrospect, bad idea, because, you know, she had a seizure the day before. But she went home, and you know, everything seemed fine. So my grandmother went on the next day, Monday. My grandmother went to her boyfriend's house. He wasn't technically my grandfather. My real one died before I was even born. My mom's dad and my uncle's dad, he died before I was born, but my grandmother started seeing this other guy a few years later. So she went to his house, and my uncle went to his girlfriend's house because they assumed everything was fine. So I was home alone with mom, and she went in the kitchen and started reading. The way our house is set up, there's just my grandmother's room, which is the master bedroom. What was my room was then my uncle's room, and then mom had her own room. So I was sleeping in the kitchen on this cot which I didn't mind because it didn't have springs. It was super comfortable, and you know, I best sleep of my life other than when I broke my ankle. And I got to sleep in that hospital bed. That's a whole nother story for a different time. Even though I will say, it happened the December after my mom died. So she died in July, August, September, October, November, December. That very December, broke my ankle. But anyway, that was the shittiest year of my life. And not to mention, not even that after that December, after I broke my ankle, January, February, on my mom's birthday, in fact, the boyfriend of my grandmother, he died in his sleep. She went to his house, you know, to bring him a pie and cook him lunch while I was at school. I was in school, and I got called down to the office early. I mean, I knew I wasn't getting on the bus because I was still in the cast. Or still on crutches, I don't exactly remember. And I got called down to the office early, and I was like, why the hell is she picking me up so early? I went down there, and she told me that Papa had died in his sleep. She couldn't get into his house, and a neighbor opened the door for her, and she found him dead in bed. So that was the worst year of my life. The literal worst year of my life. 365 year, not date year. But anyway, back to Mom. I'm surprised I'm keeping my composure. I guess I got all the crying out of me in the last take. Yeah, I'm not lying, it was unbearable. Like, the audio was fucking terrible. But,
you should come with us to Sanctuary.
yeah, my grandmother left and my uncle left, so I was home alone with Mom. She was reading in the kitchen. She was sitting on my cot. Cot, internet. C-O-T.
Destiny, isn't there?
I know some of you are gonna be like, did he say what I think he said? No.
I know
Shut the fuck up. C-O-T. Cot.
My destiny? What do you mean?
But she was sitting on there and reading, and I was in the living room, and it's odd what you remember in tragedy. I was watching Blade Trinity for the first time, and this was when the movie was brand new, because I had just rented it from Blockbuster.
I knew it. Please.
And I was watching it for like the second time, where I had to take it back, and I heard this thump. And it was Mom. Her head had slumped back and hit the wall, and she was having another seizure. I was 15. I was still a kid. I mean, yeah, I was in high school, but I was a fucking kid. I had no idea what to do. I was just fucking... I was losing my mind, and I called 911, and I was like, my mom's having a seizure. I need help here now. And the operator, you know, my hat's off to her. She tried her best to keep my composure, but it just wasn't working. I was just lost. I tried to roll her on her side, but you know, I wasn't like that's just dead weight. And my mom, you know, she wasn't a big woman, but she wasn't skinny. You know, she had some meat on her bones. You know, she was 180 something. And that's just dead weight. And for me, that's on a cot that you sink into because there's no springs. I mean, there's spring supports for you to hold you up when you lay in it, but you know, you just basically sink into it. For me to actually grab dead weight and try to roll her on the side, it was fucking impossible for me. And I basically watched my mom die, for lack of a better term. It's literally what happened. I watched my mother die right in front of my eyes, because when the paramedics got there, she was gone. They had to usher me outside of the house because they had to cut her shirt off to get the chest paddles. I basically... Keep it together. To be a kid of 15 years old and watch somebody who's your entire world just die in front of you. It's the most hard. the most heart-wrenching thing you can ever experience. And just the sudden finality of it, you know? I mean, she was fine a week earlier, and then just in 3 days... she... But, they took her to the hospital, and she died a few more times on the way to the hospital. They kept bringing her back and tried to keep her, but she just wouldn't. And by the time they got her to the hospital, they had managed to keep her alive, and they got her on all these machines. And, I mean, when you go in that room, and you see all those tubes... There's nothing that can prepare you for that kind of thing.
I mean, you can't open the gate.
But,
Playing around, Danny. I'm standing out in the
they had told...
crying out loud.
They told us that, she had died so many times that, she was brain dead, you know?
Ooh, just doing your job.
She had died so many times that she was basically a vegetable.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed.
And other than keeping her alive, there was nothing they could do because she was just gonna die several times. They could keep bringing her back.
I live here. You can't just lock me out.
But she was gonna suffer, so...
All day, Danny. Open up.
Grandmother... left the decision up to my uncle.
You want to go to the city, right?
And,
Just got here, but
he decided to pull the plug. So...
What's that?
She died, and we had an autopsy
For a whole month?
performed to figure out why.
You hear that, Danny?
Why
Open the gate
did she die? You know, why was it? Why was she fine 1 minute and then gone the next? And it turns out she had pancreatic cancer, and no one knew. Some of us assumed she knew that something was wrong, because, you know, months prior, you know, she had a problem with eating citrusy food like tomato paste and stuff, and it always made her sick. But we just assumed, you know, maybe she knew something was up, but she never told us because she didn't want us to worry. But anyway, she had pancreatic cancer, and the guy that performed the autopsy told the doctor he had no idea why and how she was even still going, because her body was just riddled with polyps. Just riddled from head to toe. It was a miracle that she even kept going as long as she did. But, the whole reason I started playing video games in the first place was because of my mom, you know. When I was just barely a kid, still in elementary school, she pulled down the old Nintendo Entertainment System. And we spent the whole night playing Super Mario Brothers and Centipede.
A fine place to come. Spend your money. Settle down.
So I think it's fitting that, you know, what my mom started me on, you know, is just how I make my living and how I can make a difference in other people's lives. Either by, you know, my videos, or eventually, you know, if I get big enough, hopefully doing live streams for cancer research. Because
I've had enough of this, Piper.
I don't want anyone to go through what I had to.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. A big...
No one should ever have to go through that, you know?
Look, I gotta go then, but,
Stuff like that changes your life. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for not. But you should still have to go through that kind of stuff. Not that young, you know? So, you know, ultimately with my channel, I hope that I can make a difference in people's lives. Get to the point where Mark is, you know, where I can do charity live streams on the regular and really make a difference, you know? Because that's money they wouldn't normally otherwise get. And it doesn't seem like much, but that money really does go a long way in helping people find something, a cure or something that keeps the patient going. Yes, I want to go to work and enjoy what I do, but what I really want is to make a difference. So, that's a little insight to my life and what I've been through and why I have this channel and what I'm doing with it now. And I'm sorry for blubbering like a baby. I try my best to keep my composure, but you know, it's just... My mom was my best friend, you know. But, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around.